What's wrong? Something amiss. Did you spot it? I'm sitting here, relaxed on the chair with my arms folded, my legs crossed, but something is amiss. I've done it deliberately to see if you can spot it. So have another look, all the way from the top down to the bottom. Something in my clothing or attire is not what it should be. Can you spot what it is? Very subtle, this. A friend of mine, David Burner, pointed this out to me about 30 years ago, and perfect thing for parties and things. So, no, didn't hit that time either. Well, I'll show you what it is. It's not my arms, it's not my knees, it's not my waist, it's my feet. I'll uncross my feet and oh my goodness me, look at that. Goodness, he's got the shoes on the wrong feet. How ridiculous. Now it's as obvious as can be, but when they're crossed over, you cannot see it for the life of you. So that's a lovely thing to do at a party. Just pop out of the room and away you go. And goodness me, I can't think of any way of getting a party started by performing like that. Here's another one which I can show. It's a t-shirt, but a very, very clever way of folding it. And that's a very nice idea, that, as a cartoon. What you do is, you start with the t-shirt flat, and you've got to ask someone in the house, or in the room, or in the pub you're playing at, anyone got a t-shirt, and someone will, if it's summertime, take a t-shirt off, and you do a very, very neat way of folding it up. With the left hand, you pick up the middle point there, which is the middle point here and here, and then you do this, underneath here, across to here, up here, shake, 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 and cross it over. Look at that. Perfectly folded t-shirt. Beautiful. Have a go practicing it, and it's so smooth and neat to do a t-shirt like that. And there's a number of other things here to show, all of which require the minimum of props. For the first one, you need no props at all, just your shoes on your feet. But here's an empty bottle, which is easy enough to find at a party. Here's a banknote, which you borrow from someone or have your own. You put this upside down and you challenge people to get the banknote out without making the bottle fall over, and you're not allowed to touch the bottle. And of course there's two ways of doing it. The easy but slow way is this one here, folding the banknote up, but when you finally reach the bottle, you push very so gently like this, but you're not touching the bottle, you're touching the note, and then it comes off. That's okay, but it's more dramatic, I think, to do this. Place it near the edge of a table like that, and with your fingers, your hand, you've got to do a chop very fast. Wow! Isn't that fantastic? Very dramatic, but it always works. Good chop, and it's done. Phew! There's cork magic here, which is a nice one. And there's plenty of corks usually at parties. There's several games being made of this, but I just like playing with a basic one, which is dropping 2 corks at a time, and go on doing this with a friend opposite, trying to do the same thing, and you're trying to get the corks to stand upright. There we are, there's 1. And you find the first person to reach 21, for instance, or anything else, is the winner. And it's surprising, sometimes, occasionally, you get 2 corks staying up, which is very nice. Sometimes you go on several times, and the corks just don't do it at all. But there's enough success in it to make it actually quite fun to do. So, another one to do with corks. And there's a thing in here. Have you ever had a wine bottle with a cork fallen into it? How do you get the cork out? How do you get that cork out of the bottle? It won't just come out like that because it's too wide. Give it another shake. The answer is you take a silk handkerchief, however old and battered it is. This one's very old and battered. And with something to push it to, you push it into it like this until most of the silk is inside. Poof, poof, poof. A bit more, yeah. A bit more, and a bit more, and a bit more. There we are. Then you've got to just shake it about and get it down. And you have to get that cork so it's riding on top of the silk and then works its way into the base. Let's see if we can get that to work. Which is it? I want it to go a little bit more steeply. Which is it? There we are, about there. And now it's grasping the cork until when I pull out like that, it just pops out ever so neatly. Out. Very neat thing to do. Worth trying. Bit of practice needed, but it's worth it. Then there's a charming thing which I did once in a Christmas pack was I'd shown it. I think it was a Spanish professor who discovered the effect. What you have to do is get one of these, preferably the tall cans. You can do it with a short can, but it's more tricky to do. The tall can, the Guinness, actually has a little, there's a ball inside it which helps the thing to degas and gives a nice head to the beer. And then you've got to put in about that much water. You have to work out what it is. I think for this it's between 80 millimetres and 180. And you just put it sideways like that, and it stays there nicely resting on the level, on its little edge there. Isn't that dramatic? Extraordinary. If you just left that on the bar, people would say, what's going on here? How could that stay there? Well, it's got just enough water or beer left inside it to do that. A little less than that, it falls over. A little more than that, it falls over. But in that form, it just about swings and just about moves around. It's almost stable. Beautiful. So a very nice trick to show on people. And all you need is something that's in the bar, half-open can. Then there's a whole bunch of other ones which I see in books, which my favourite, which I always find the typical one, and I'll finish with this one, is having coasters. And I do all sorts of things with coasters, but the one that's probably the earliest I've come across is to do the snatch and catch one, where you have to place them on the edge of a table and lift it up with a finger and catch it at the same time. And it's quite tricky to do. The first time I'll see if I can get a... No, good to me. Let's try and get to some more. Sometimes it's usually better to do more than less of these. I like usually using about 5 or 6 of them. No, dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is my age, you see. I haven't got the agility. Oh, 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 oh. Keep going, Tim. You've got to keep this. You've got to get it to work. Oh, no, no. Let's try a few more. Try it going sideways. Try that. Try anything. It's just on the level of the table. Not quite. Oh, goodness me. I'm failing. I'm getting too old. Here we go. One more time. Must do one. Must do one. Must do one. Come on. A young man's game. You should be able to do this to your age of 100. It's not all go. So, no. Snatch and pull. Snatch and pull it. Snatch and pull it. Come on, Tim. Keep going. No, I'm not doing the snatch right here. I'm not lifting it up enough. Not quite. And still not there. And keep going. Oh, 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 oh. Goodness me. I've got the knack of this last night when I was practicing, but now it seems to be impossible. I don't think it can be done. No, can't give up. Oh, 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 oh. Must get this time. I don't think it matters if I'm muddled, actually. Still not there. Still not there. One more flick. I'm not doing it quite correctly. I can't think what I'm doing wrong. What am I doing wrong? Not sitting properly. Up in the air, a bit more up in the air. Nearly there, nearly there. Oh! Up in the air, up. That's up. Now we've got to catch it. Whew. Don't believe this. My longest term without success. Ah! It was easy. You try.